So coming up on September 20th is an adult driving class, and with me is Gerry Apple. A lot of people know Mr. Apple, but I want to give him the opportunity to explain to those who don't know Gerry Apple who he is and give us a background and what this is about. So let's start with Gerry. Tell us your background.
Well, I started teaching in 1970 in Hoquiam. Then I moved to Montesano, and I started teaching in Shelton in 1985, and I taught traffic safety, uh, and I taught high school English and history. And I've been teaching traffic safety, or driver's ed, as some people call it, since 1970. And I still continue to teach uh, traffic safety education. And my focus now is on working with people 55 and older uh, who want to know more about the traffic safety laws that are current, that are
Mhm.
coming in. Also, emphasizing seeing habits, looking left, forward, right when that light turns green. Talking about road rage, drowsy driving, handling emergencies, getting onto the freeway properly, getting off the freeway. Um, talk about reference points. Where is your car in relationship to the curb or stop line? And I think a really important one is roundabouts. So um, I've really had I've really enjoyed teaching for the last 53 years, and I continue to do that. And I've enjoyed working with you on Mason Web TV, announcing football and basketball and baseball, and I just enjoy being around people, and that's what it's all about. And I've been teaching the senior driving class for at least 35 years. And I probably have taught 20,000 students to taught them to drive. And I was at the Educational Service District after I retired from Shelton High School. And I was there for about 17 years after I retired in 2003 from Shelton High School. And I was an administrator there and head of the traffic safety program, and we had 35 schools in 5 counties.
Mhm.
So, and we even had some schools in Eastern Washington. So, anyway, that's pretty well my background. So,
Okay, Gerry. So teacher for public schools. How did you get involved in the adult driving classes? How did that come about?
it came about in 1984. A friend of mine who was on our Washington Traffic Safety Education Board passed away. And he at the time was the current, he had about 11 different sites and about 8 different teachers working for him. And he passed away, unfortunately. And the board said, Gerry, would you like to take over the program? And Dedrick, I don't like to say the word no very often. And uh, it's been a real blessing. I've met some wonderful people, and I guess I'm changing my focus now from working with teenagers, with the Students Against Destructive Decisions program, where I was a state coordinator for many years. Now I put my efforts towards working with seniors, and working with both groups has been a pleasure. And so, yeah.
Now, on your class, you explained some of the topics that you're covering. Can you give us some of maybe a highlight of one of those topics? What you would discuss with
Yes,
your students?
yes. One of the things I talk about is making sure that people make head checks when they make lane changes, when they pull to the curb, when they get into a left turn lane, making head checks when they come onto the freeway. And I see that as the biggest problem for seniors or people who've not taken traffic safety education, current students in their 20s. And I work with them on adjusting their mirrors out 15 degrees, so that they're basically only seeing the back door handle, and that covers a lot of the blind spot. And sometimes I wish I didn't say that, because then they think they could just rely on their mirrors. And I say it's important still to make the head check. Every time you don't make a head check, you lose 4 points on the driving test. And I'm an examiner, and I feel bad when I have to mark people off on that, but it's a very important thing to do. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm on the freeway and I'm in the right-hand lane, and I'm going to move into the middle lane, and I don't make that head check, and a car from the left lane starts moving into the same lane that I'm moving into, the center lane. And boy, if you don't make that head check, you're going to cut somebody off. So I emphasize a lot on head checks, and I talk a lot about roundabouts to try to get people to realize that roundabouts are a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, the Wednesday, September 20th, 9 a.m. to 3:30. It's a lot to cover in a very short period of time. Cost says here $20.
That is correct.
And the benefit of doing this class, Jerry, what's the benefit? Aside
Well,
from better knowledge, what is the benefit for your participants?
I would hope that that's their first prerogative, that that's their first goal, is that they're going to be safer drivers and more knowledgeable. And it's a good social event for them. They get a chance to meet friends, and they get a chance to have a good lunch there at the senior center there in Shelton. What a beautiful senior center. It is just great. But the thing is, a lot of them come, and I understand they come for the reason of getting an insurance break, a 5%, maybe 10% break over a 2-year period. And there's 177 insurance companies in the state of Washington. I only know of one that doesn't give that little break in their our discount. But just becoming more knowledgeable, having fun, and they get to listen to a couple speakers. We have somebody from the State Patrol, usually, come in and talk about some of the laws and some of the different topics that I emphasize. And we also have somebody come in and talk about railroad safety, Operation Lifesaver. So they don't just listen to me for 6-7 hours. That would be kind of boring, wouldn't it, Dedrick? Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to answer that question, Jerry. Let's. I had another question. At the end of the course, you go through the whole thing. Do they get a certificate so that they can say,
They
"Hey,
do.
insurance company, here's
They
what
do
I get"?
get a certificate, and I ask them to make a copy of that, and then they take that to their insurance company, and then they get a little break in their insurance. So yeah. So yep.
The class on Wednesday at the Mason County Senior Activity Center. Call the receptionist to sign up, but you could just show up with $20. Is that right?
We strongly encourage them to sign up ahead of time. It depends on the senior center. I know that I'm teaching a class in Hoquiam in October at their senior center, and they'll pay the day of the class. But and same thing with Belfair. I wanted to let you know that I will be teaching a class in Belfair on Friday, September the 29th. And so it depends on most ask for the money ahead of time, like Tumwater does and Shelton does. And I've got 14 different sites.
That was my next question, Jerry. You have 14 different sites, and you're a busy man. You talked about Belfair. What's the difference? If you can't make the one on the 20th, you call the hub up in Belfair and sign up for that one as well on the 29th?
Yes, I will be. As a matter of fact, I'm going up there next week to a safety fair that they have, a fair, and that's going to be on Saturday. And I'm going to introduce myself to a lot of people that are coming there for that event and encourage them to register at that time. I've already got 8 so far signed up for the Belfair class. And it's so nice to work with these people, both the directors at Shelton and at Belfair. And I got a chance to get involved in Belfair thanks to Randy Netherlands.
Hmm.
He said, Jerry, yes, it would be a great program for the citizens and senior citizens in Belfair. So I want to give a shout out to Randy.
As we all do. I like
Yeah.
to give a shout out to Randy Netherland. Jerry, if you last piece of advice to those people who want to attend your class, what would you do? What would you say?
Come on, be willing to ask questions, and uh, I like it. It just makes the time go a lot faster. Uh, be willing to learn new ideas, new scene habits, um, and don't be afraid of roundabouts of entering the freeway. But
Okay.
we've already got, I think, about 10 signed up for the Shelton class. But I encourage you to come and have fun. That's the key. And we do a lot of role playing. I ask a lot of questions. I get everybody involved. I don't just sit there and talk for 4 or 5 hours, or but make it fun.
Okay. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you.